Hello friends, and welcome back to Studioloo. So now that we have finally moved beyond the launch of my new digital collection, the Majestic Mycology forest, and the journals that I made from it, I now want to document the project here in my creativity sampler. So I actually reserved a 2-page spread for it right before we got to the White Witch pages, or page, I should say. So we did this one last time in the White Witch sampler, or excuse me, creativity sampler. And then this was the Apollo and Daphne, and then this is what I reserved for this collection to be recorded in. So I did print, I have a lot of extra digitals that I printed from this to just kind of prepare to sort of show it on the channel, and yeah. So I want to use these backgrounds to cover these pages because there's nothing really interesting going on these pages. So we'll cover that all up because it's just a boring text. So today's a nice day. I'm actually like really ahead in making videos somehow. I don't know. I just got shot out of a cannon when I got back from vacation, and I've just been getting a lot done somehow, but I've also like been getting outside every day. I'm like actually just kind of caught up on life somehow. I'm not going to take this moment for granted because it does not always happen that way. But October is going to be a busy month, so I will take what I have while I have it and be happy. Okay. Well, that is that side. Then this side, we will maybe right about like there. It's another beautiful fall day today. We went for a lovely walk, and my children, my daughter mainly, went out on her scooter, and we got ice cream. I took them out for ice cream. Well, they got ice cream. I didn't. I was behaving myself. But also, the ice cream place we went to only took cash for some bizarre reason. And they're like a massive store. I was like, what is going on here? So yeah, I didn't have a whole ton of cash. I usually carry a little bit, but not that much. It's just, I don't know. I've been part of the cashless society for a while now. I just don't need to carry cash around with me most of the time. All right. Yay! Okay, that feels great. Those pages just feel nice now. Okay, so we're going to go with my tried and true stamp method of trying to document things, but I got my big and hard to use stamp here. This I love this McGill Craftivity stamp, the stacking square 1/9/16 stamp, but it's really hard to use. That's my only qualm. And then I have my Stampin' Up! Punch, which is not hard to use. So I thought what I would do first is, I do have this page at least. I reserved a couple of pages from my digital kit to allow myself to have some nice, like, you know, pieces for this. So I'm going to see if I can stamp a couple out using this thing. I know I'm going to have to cut a little or rip a little off here. Not going to be too precious with this because this one's just one of my test prints for the kit. See if I can get her face here. I can. Just line it up as so, and then flip this over. Okay. Right there. Okay. I'm going to stand up for a moment. I'm so sorry if I bumped you. As I mentioned, this is the craziest punch. Okay. We got it though. And it's so cute, so I'm not mad. All right. I think for the rest, I'm going to use the other one. I just really wanted to use a few of these like cute shapes. I mean, I might do that one that way too. But first, let's cut out a couple of the little pieces. So we'll grab this little one. Okay. And I'll cut the labels off because I might use a few of those here too. And then I'll come up here and just kind of cut across here. We'll see if I can get a nice stamp of this scene right here. Perfect. Then these. All right. Then come back over here and cut out these little fussy cut bits. And I think I'll use this stamp again for here. Now let's use the tough one again. Right there. Sorry if I shake everything around me. Okay, so that's what I'll take from that page. And this one, let's see how that's a little, I just cut the bottom off that. Lovely. This one I think I'll use the tough stamp again. It might be too small though, actually. I don't know. But, you know, we could just do the eyes and the flowers or the face. Let me take a look and see. That would just be pretty, just the face. Or just the eyes. I'm going to go face, I think. I feel like I have to work my core out more to be able to stamp with this stamp. Holy moly. Okay, this serene. She's so serene. We're going to use the serene stamp, this far more serene stamp for her, as well as her. And then I may come down here and just, well, that's cute. So let's do that. Grab that. Then, can I grab something more from right here? Yeah, I can. And up here, can I get another one out of this? Yeah, that's cool. And we'll grab one here and another one. Yeah. All right. So we've got all the stamps from the kit. Now I will cut out a couple of these little labels just because they're so fun. I honestly think that this kit's going to be really a good flexible kit to use in a lot of different projects. It's going to be hard for me not to just keep using it again and again, but I can't do that obviously, or it would get repetitive. But yeah, I really feel like I kind of captured a lot of things that I love with this kit. I'll just cut these two out here. And if I don't use them on this page, that's okay. I can just set them aside on my snippets, because you can always use little mushroom name labels. I actually saw some really nice mushrooms today. When I was walking, whole clusters of puffballs and some really beautiful clustered northern tooth up in a tree, in a maple tree. It was really pretty. Okay, now we have the scraps of things that I had also used in these journals. So I'm just going to try to grab some things from that. Where's my good stamp punch? Right here. So I'll keep this scrap, and then I'll just punch out one bit of this kind of thick handmade kind of paper. Keep that. Then this is a digital background from the kit of these like funny old manuscript looking kind of mushrooms. So I'm going to grab a few of those illustrations, just random different snippets. I'm going to go up here to these kind of teardrop looking ones. I really like these ones. There we go. Okay, that's probably enough of those. Then I will grab a little snip of my eco-printed fabric, because that was another big part of making these journals. This is also scrap. I think I'll grab 1 or 2 stamps of that. It's just beautiful. Okay, a little bit of this, because these are what I used for the end papers. Paper. That's cute. This was used in the journal. I probably should see how much room I have left. That is a piece from the kit. This I'll use for something Tuesday 10. These are scraps that I'll keep. These ended up not getting used. This I'll grab a stamp of, because I did use bits of that book in the journals. Where did that go? Oh, right here. That's just a decent fussy cut. These scraps these can all just kind of go in my bin. These are things that didn't get used that are like, well, that one I did actually. I will put some of that in the book. These can go in my fussy cuts. And this is the garden book that did I use this? Yeah, this is the book that I used for one of the journals, actually, the Amanita journal. I'm not going to bother really keeping it, maybe. I don't know. I guess I could cut this out and add it as background. We don't need this. That little snip will add. This is fussy cut. This is extra. These were extras that didn't get used that I'll use for something else. And so is that. So yeah, I'll use all this for fussy cuts and Tuesday 10. Okay. So let me set these aside. All right. And then I have Mycology photos if I need anything more, but now we can start to put this page together, I think. So, okay. Glue book and glue. just went and did my grocery shopping today after I went on that nice walk, so that's done. Yay! One less thing to have to worry about for a little while. Let's put that up here. And then I have to remember to leave myself a little bit of space to just document what in fact I'm documenting. So then this little fabric snippet, I think what I'll do with it is just add a little Fabri-Tac. I think I also want to clean it up. I really cut that quite jagged, and I don't want that for this book. I kind of want it to be a little more square. Not extremely square, but that's a little nicer, and I'll put 2 bits down. So just kind of add a little Fabri-Tac here. Put one down here. One up here. Okay. There we go. Then set the Fabri-Tac aside and we can get to gluing on the other fun stuff. All right. Get all these up here. So we'll start with this image of the main Amanita Muse's face, because she's really integral to this whole memory, I think. And one of these little patterns, maybe up here. I'm just going to go back and forth and work between the 2 pages so that I know that I'm like doing this evenly. Okay. Then I will glue this sunflower on at the bottom. And one of the little abstract mushrooms. Okay, and then this little bit, this project gets me in such a zone. I find it so relaxing, especially once you have everything like punched out and you're just good to go. Like, it's just really kind of mesmerizing and relaxing to just be like gluing stamps onto a page. There's not a lot of thought involved and it's just fun. Now we will put this mushroom lady on here. And this little bit of birch tree. I went to a used bookstore today, but it was like super expensive, and it touted itself as being like a great home for rare books, which is why I went. And you know, I can understand expensive if the books are truly rare, but I didn't see any rare books at all. And also the frustrating part of it all is there might have actually been rare books, but most of the old books, they literally have them, and this isn't the first time I've seen this, behind the checkout, which is like, there's, you know, like, so imagine your, like, you know, the aisle in front of the desk is here, okay? Then there's the desk, there's plexiglass, then there's a bunch of space, and then way back here, this is where the books are on shelves, like, that are, you know, even the cashier couldn't reach more than half of them. Like, what is the point? It's my question. Like, what is the point of, you know, renting out a bookstore space if you don't want to sell books? I don't understand. I find that so annoying. It's like, don't put things behind the counter. Like, we have a local thrift store here that does that with things that they deem are of high worth, which almost always they aren't. There's so many people in, like, the industry of you know, thrift and charity resale, all of that, have unfortunately way too much close experience with some of this stuff. And the people have no clue about a lot of the practices where they truly don't understand the cost, like the value of something, and they will price it at such a price that it will never ever sell. It will just sit there forever. And sometimes I think it's like the emotional attachment that they might have to the nostalgia. Like, I know a guy used to work there who was really into video games and comic books, and he would price everything as though it was like his personal possessions, and they were priced way too high. They never sold. He eventually lost his job, which was actually wonderful because he was horrible to deal with. He was the meanest person I have ever encountered, like, in a thrift store before. He was so rude, sarcastic, like very rude to customers. Like, I remember there was this whole period of time where, when the pandemic first started, you know, after lockdown, and our initial lockdown was lifted and you were allowed to shop in stores with a mask, they're a recycling center, and so their whole mission is to, like, try to, you know, like, rehouse things so that they don't go to landfill. So what they did was, because they were getting just too many donations and they couldn't keep up and there was too much stuff, they sort of, their board decided they would just give things away for free, and they advertised it everywhere, but you could make a donation. And this is when, like, stores that weren't obligatory were not allowed to be open and running. So they found this loophole where they could be open, you know, for the purpose of, like, getting, you know, continuing their mission to not contribute landfill to the environment. So that was great. They found a loophole to be able to be open. But the customers, or the people inside, could only donate. They couldn't directly purchase things. So that was the whole thing, because they weren't like a necessary entity in business, right? They weren't, I forget what they were calling the businesses at the time that were like critical to remain open, but they weren't one of them. So, you know, people were doing that. They were going there, they were getting things, and they weren't paying, and they were leaving, or they would make a donation. Some would, some wouldn't. But, like, I look at that like it's the name of the game, right? Like, you should expect that. But he was, like, standing behind the counter, giving people the most fiendish looks. And I saw him on more than one occasion, like, shout and center out people who looked like they probably were just going to take what they had collected and leave, which they were fully within their right to do. I only went a couple of times because I found the environment very stressful, and also I wasn't super comfortable shopping at that time. I was really freaked out still. Like, I just wasn't comfortable. And I mean, I made, like, reasonable, actually I would say generous donations a couple of times, and then I don't know, his character just really bothered me and I didn't want to go back. And then I didn't go there for a very long time. And then I remember looking at, like, a review site of some kind, who somebody had written all these crazy, like, personal comments about him. I couldn't believe it. But, like, the page was, like, I don't know if it was Google or Yelp or something. I can't remember why I even found it. I never really leave reviews, but I saw, I think I was looking to see if they were open or something. So I just checked Google and I saw the reviews, and, like, the first one that was in my preview was, like, this really personal commentary that I also sort of felt like I could relate to. Like, I understood whoever wrote it, why they wrote what they wrote. And I was like, wow, like, this is becoming quite an epidemic of people not liking him. Holy moly. So it was sad, but then I think the board did the right thing and they, dismissed him from that role because he was just really not right for that kind of a job. You have to understand that when you work in charity, there's a lot of people who need charity and they don't need to be made to feel terrible about their circumstances, right? So yeah, he was not right for that role at all. But for some reason, I don't know, my husband for many, many years worked in nonprofit, and a lot of people, including a lot of corporate burnouts who have the worst personalities, are very drawn to those roles. And sometimes it's wonderful, and they bring their great skill and experience from their jobs in the past to the role. But other times they bring whatever it was that likely had them retire early, probably not on good terms, and they seek that control and importance in some other way. And I've definitely seen a lot of both of those scenarios, because you can get like wonderful people who want to work in those roles, and then some that are just, I guess that's like anything though, right? You get your good and bad wherever you go. But I don't know if I had a point I was trying to make. I think I've lost it. Did I make my point? I don't know. It's okay. Okay. And I think I'll fill in the page over here more than the other one, and I'll use the other one for my writing space. I like how this is coming together. It really feels like it's a good, it speaks to the kit. Sorry, my brain today. Oops. There you go. A couple more to go, and then we're almost done. Woohoo! Although I think I could sit and do this for like as long as I would need to do it. I really love that punch so much, the stamp that it makes, but whew, it's a workout to use. I kind of wish it wasn't so much a workout to try to use it, but I actually really wish there were more basic like shape punches, like tabs and things like that. I like punches more than I like dies. Like I like dies, but I feel like you've got to really be committed to feel like sitting down and die cutting for a long period of time. That's why I don't use a ton of them. Like I do have a decent amount of dies for sure, but I just kind of feel like, oh, I have to, do more than just a little, like one piece of die cutting if I'm going to sit down and do die cutting. All right, I think I'm happy with that. Maybe I'll just find a little from one of these little Mycology photos, maybe. I feel like I need something right there, and I'm not sure. You know what I use? I think one of these now. This. Okay. I'm just gonna use a little, this like little soft tree watercolory scrapbook paper. I used it in the book and I'd like to just plunk it right there, but I gotta straighten up the edge a little. I went a little wonky on that one side. That's not too bad. That can go right there. Perfect. Okay, so that is my pages. Those are my pages for the Majestic Mycology forest kits that I have in my Etsy shop. They're my design for October 2022. If you're interested in them, you can run over to Etsy and take a look. If you are one of my patrons on Patreon in the upper 2 tiers, it will be given to you for free, both kits. So thank you so very much for hanging out with me today. I hope you had fun just listening to me blather on and glue all of these stamps down. So I hope you have fun. Make yourself a creativity sampler. Trust me, it's so much fun. Oh my goodness. So we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.